Hello and welcome back to the How I Ripped Off Buffy the Vampire Slayer podcast. My name as always is Chip Thompson. I don't know why I looked at you for a reaction then. I was introducing myself. And I'm joined as always by MC.
It's not like I was going to go, you are? I had no idea.
Well, this is going very well already, isn't it?
That would be me. Okay, continue.
Yeah, okay, great. What are we doing? We're doing a podcast. Great. And this is episode 6 of season 3. This is Revelations Part 2. And what happened last time, Chip Thompson?
Well, MC. Tifa.
Ooh.
It was an exciting time for Tifa. Not much happened with everyone else, to be honest. It was mainly about the Tiefs.
The gang was watching TV.
Yeah.
Chip felt a bit sorry.
Yeah, Louise said that he wasn't their friend.
Oh.
I know, poor guy. I feel so bad for him.
You heroically sacrifice yourself, and this is what happens.
But Tifa, she was on the trail of a drug dealer.
Roy Mann. The now deceased Roy Mann.
Yes, thanks to Tifa's police chief, who straight up snapped his neck. And
What?
when Tifa went in to confront him, he was all, "What you can do about it, bitch?" And then threw her off the force.
Yep.
And so, yeah.
Fired her.
Yeah.
Yeah. After, well, I mean, she punched him in the face.
She did.
So obviously that is, I mean, if you punch your boss at a job, you're probably going to get fired.
Probably.
Yeah, but he seems to have some sort of protection. Like, the cops seem to know what's going on.
Do they?
Well, there was the officer at the scene of the Freddy one where they were like, "Oh, we should cover this up," sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, the cops just, I guess the cops that threw Tifa out, maybe they didn't necessarily know, but I feel like he's got some sort of influence. And possibly he's answering to some sort of higher power.
Mr. Johnson, the mysterious Mr. Johnson.
Boris Johnson.
Oh God.
Oh God, this just got hideous. I don't want to read about it
This is a
anymore.
real horror now.
This really is a prequel to Modern Times. Okay, well, let's find out what the fuck Boris Johnson's up to, because no one in this country knows. It's Revelations Part 2.
Previously on Tamara Gayson.
Just before she could tell them both to freeze, the man snapped Roy's neck and dropped his limp body. Tifa fell back down to a crouching position and looked on in horror as the man turned out to be Chief Inspector Hirato, Tifa's boss. Louise and Chip swapped places. He felt a little better having actually spoken to someone, even if it was just a few sentences. Hey, he called back before Louise closed the door. Chip, just get one thing straight. We're not friends. Ooh.
There we go. A bit
Sick
of
burn.
backbone. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Johnson. Yes. It's all taken care of. Yes. I am excited also. Goodbye, Mr. Johnson.
Chief Inspector Hirato hung up the phone just as Tifa kicked the door in.
I saw you kill Roy Mann today. Did you indeed?
With one mighty shove, Hirato pushed Tifa across the room. She landed on the floor, but got straight back to her feet. Tifa closed her fist and punched Hirato square on the nose.
Yes. I murdered Roy Mann and lots of other people. But unfortunately, there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. You won't get away with this.
Tifa snarled.
Didn't I mention? You're fired. Wow.
MC declared.
I didn't realise that was the omnibus edition.
Oh, because they're watching soaps.
Yeah, just a special Sunday catch-up where it's like 7 hours worth.
We're still here with the soap watching and the TV. Last episode opened with Tifa chasing down a hard-bitten, drug-running, drug dealer murderer.
Yeah.
And now we're back to soaps. Great. Louise started to flick the channels, trying to find something else to watch. MC, still bored, turned back to Jay, but he wasn't there.
Oh my god.
He said, standing up.
Jay's gone.
Yeah, Louise replied. He went to bed about an hour ago.
Oh.
MC sat back down. It's like, oh my god, Jay's been kidnapped again. Mission,
Thank
something
God.
to do. He quickly rushed back to his feet again when Shin-no-Khan appeared in the room.
Drink.
Yay!
Yes!
He yelled.
I mean, no. Damn that unspeakable evil that needs vanishing.
Vanishing?
I think he means vanquishing.
No,
he's excited. So,
Vanishing,
yeah.
MC, vanishing. He's Harry Potter all of a sudden.
Oh, well, these things happen. Where is it? Where is what?
Shin-no-Khan asked, puzzled.
The evil that needs to be destroyed. There is none. Not that I know of.
MC decided to give up and sat back down again. I mean, there must be some sort of evil happening in the world, right?
Yeah.
Do you know, MC could go out on patrol or something? Or like,
Yeah.
he knows where all the demons hunt and haunt and stuff. Like, there must be something going on. It's Tokyo, for God's sake.
It's filled with demons.
Yeah. You're really jonesing for a fight, aren't you, MC? Louise said, being polite and turning the television off.
Not really. I just don't like being out of action for this long. It is a good thing.
Shin-no-Khan offered.
No work means no people are suffering needlessly. I guess.
MC replied. Again, there are probably people suffering needlessly in the world.
Yeah.
Like, there is something. If MC really wants to do some good, there is something he could do.
Volunteer in a soup kitchen or something. You see the guy's like, nope, no demons, so it's all fine. Wealth inequality, what's that?
Maybe MC could cancel Brexit.
You make it vanish.
Then there was a frantic knock at the door. Hey, this could be some good news, MC. Or bad, depending on how you look at it.
Nah, probably just some Jehovah's Witness. No, Jehovah Witnesses. Jehovah, singular. Nah, probably just some Jehovah Witnesses banging on about God and stuff.
But Japanese versions.
Yeah.
Japanese witnesses.
I don't believe in Japanese people. That's rubbish.
To be fair, if you read this, there's not a lot of Japanese people in it. MC went to check anyway. When he answered the door, a tearful Tifa stormed in.
That son of a bitch.
She said,
I'll have him. You just see if I don't.
Hello, dear.
MC said a little confused and a little patronising. The shouting brought Louise and Shin-no-Khan in from the living room. Still, Tifa continued to rant and rave about something the gang didn't know about.
So like shouting for Tifa.
Yeah.
Tifa,
MC finally said.
sit down and tell us calmly about what's wrong.
Tifa took a deep breath and sat down at the lobby table. So, I mean, is this the coffee table she's sitting at, or...?
In clearly this is a different one. The lobby is just filled with furniture.
So you've got like a massive table in there as well. How big is this lobby? Why does this mansion have a lobby?
And wasn't there something about a toolbox in a drawer in the lobby earlier?
Sure, why not?
Right.
She began.
Earlier, I was tailing a known drug dealer. You know the sort. Thinks he is above the law, always seems to get away. Anyway, I was this close to him when he noticed me. Of course he ran, and of course I chased him.
By this time, Jay had come downstairs to see what the commotion was all about. MC and Louise had sat down at the table with Tifa, and Shin-no-Khan was pacing up and down.
He ran into this factory place.
Tifa continued.
He had pulled a knife on me and slowed me down.
At this point, we don't really need a previously on tomorrowgation. We could have just had Tifa do
Thanks,
this.
Tifa.
Yeah. Louise saw the huge cut on Tifa's arm that was still seeping out blood and went to get the first aid kit. She should get a sponge and water as well.
I managed to shoot him, but when I entered the factory door, something, or rather, someone, hit me around the back of the head. When I woke up, I saw Chief Inspector Hirato murder the dealer.
As in, the guy who's your boss?
MC asked.
Nope, as in the guy who used to be my boss. When I confronted him about it, he fired me.
Well, that's no problem. All we got to do is go back to the factory and get the real police to inspect the body.
The real police. Like he's just some sort of big faker that's been hanging around. Oh, I'm the chief inspector. Hey.
He's got one of those toy police badges. Just went in one day, was like, I'm the chief of police now. Everyone else similar intelligence level to Tifa, so they just went,
okay,
right.
sure, yeah, okay, CI.
Yeah, that's the thing. He said there was no body and that I was wasting my time.
Probably just trying to scare you off, Louise said as she started to wrap Tifa's arm with a bandage.
You hit him, didn't you?
MC said.
How did you know?
MC nodded at Tifa's bruised knuckles.
He assaulted me first.
MC stood up.
He did what?
He demanded.
No, not like that. I mean, when I confronted him, he threw me across his office. He's not as timid as he looks.
Okay, people.
MC addressed everyone, rubbing his hands gleefully.
Here's the plan. I'm going to go down to the factory and see what I can find. You lot, see if you can pull anything up on Chief Inspector Hirato.
Hang on.
Tifa protested.
I'm coming with you.
MC smiled.
A cop to the end, huh? Okay, Louise, Jay?
We're on it, Louise stated. Jay just nodded wearily. MC and Tifa went to leave.
What about Chip?
Shin-no-Khan suggested.
Not the time, buddy.
This isn't the right moment. MC stopped and turned around.
What about him?
His cool exterior fading.
He can help. I don't think so. We can handle this without him. We did before.
Ooh, saucy. MC left quickly, with Tifa following closely. I mean, have they explained to Tifa yet what the fuck is going on with the chip? She's still out of the loop.
Did she even notice? No, they haven't, have they?
No. She's just like, okay, that's fine. Mm-hmm. You know, deal with one evil bastard at a time, I guess.
Why so glum?
MC asked Tifa. I mean, she just found out her boss is evil and she's been fired. I guess that might be why. MC's not very good at reading people. Oh, you seem a bit sad. What's up? It's at the
Probably
funeral for someone's mum.
Her Beano didn't come in this week. She can't read. She just looks at the pictures.
They'd been in the car for around 15 minutes now and hadn't said 3 sentences to each other. It's oddly specific. They said 2 sentences, but not 3. Nope.
We're back. We're back again with the specific times, the specific numbers.
Yeah.
It's what you said back there.
MC was confused, so Tifa enlightened him.
About being a cop to the end, because it really is the end. I'm not a cop anymore.
Hey, I didn't mean it like that. As soon as we find out what Hirato is up to, and we will, then he'll go to prison and you'll be reinstated. Maybe even given a promotion.
Tifa smiled and reached across to grab MC's hand. Or what would have been his hand if MC had one. Oh yeah, he's missing a hand.
He is,
Always
isn't
forget
he?
that. It had taken him a while to let Tifa touch his stump. Hey. But he gradually felt the uneasiness fade away. He was comfortable with his disability now and hardly even noticed it.
I hate to say it, but this is, considering MC is missing a hand, Louise is still somewhat in a wheelchair, surprisingly progressive.
Yes, thank you. Finally, some recognition.
In this very specific instance, everything else is a fucking train wreck.
So, why wouldn't you let Chip help?
It's Tifa completely forgetting what happened in the last
She
season.
does remember, right? Is it just that she literally never found out? Because I know she went up against the one.
No, because like do you remember the
Chip did flying kick her.
Yeah, in an alleyway, and she was going to shoot him, and did shoot him in the stomach, and
Oh yeah,
There
she
was a
did
whole
shoot him.
thing, yeah. maybe MC phoned her off screen
Yeah.
and it said everything.
You're explaining things now. Well done.
Well, you're struggling, and one of us has to, so I can't let this just be shit for the sake of it.
So, why wouldn't you let Chip help?
MC drew his arm away from Tifa's.
Because we don't need his help.
2 ninjas are better than 1.
That famous catchphrase.
And yet, we seemed to cope just fine when he was killing people and raising hell beasts. But people seem to have forgotten that.
Finally, someone says it.
I guess it would be kind of shitty if the your former best friend goes off, does evil stuff, and then he comes back and was like, oh no, we need him. He's really useful. He's really useful, everyone. We need him.
And in all fairness, I mean, they didn't really cope fine because it was a Chip who saved the day.
Was that by heroically sacrificing himself?
That's right, MC. Well done.
It would have been even better if nobody had needed to do that in the first place. If it hadn't been raised.
You play the die that are thrown.
And yet, we seemed to cope just fine when he was killing people and raising hell beasts. But people seem to have forgotten that.
We haven't forgotten. We're just willing to see if he's changed. You know, in your heart of hearts, that wasn't really him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I think MC is finding it the hardest to adjust because he felt the most betrayed.
Ooh, nice. Well done.
Covering for your idea.
Yeah, I like that. Yes, that is definitely what it was.
Funny, it looked, smelt, and punched like Chip.
Yeah, I remember when he knocked me out clean in an alley and when I shot him. I'm not saying we should forgive him. I'm just saying we should help him. You should help him. After all, that's what you do, right?
I help human beings. People who don't deserve to be treated badly. And goddamn, you've got me talking about this now.
Yeah, because it's been his trigger for a little while, hasn't it? He doesn't want to talk about the C word.
Yeah.
Sea dog.
He's been repressing his feelings, so that works so well for Chip.
It's because he's a man, MC, and that's what they did back then. Tifa smiled again.
Well, someone had to.
MC decided to be honest.
Okay, it's no secret that I'm not crazy about seeing him again.
But?
Tifa tried to get him to add, because she can't do sums. MC sighed.
But, in a way, I'm glad to have him back. You're right, that wasn't Chip. Not the Chip we know. When I saw him die, I saw some hope, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't save my best friend.
And you don't mean just from death either, do you?
MC shook his head and said,
I just can't forget that it all happened because at the end of the day, he may have had a breakdown or whatever, but he was still driving. It's going to take a hell of a lot of time. And even then, I don't know if it'll ever be the same again.
I mean, is that fair? Or, I mean, he murdered a bunch of people, was an evil cunt, wasn't he? So...
But he sacrificed himself heroically, Chip. You should give him a chance, jeez.
MC slowed down as he drove the car into the car park of the factory.
Anyway,
He said,
let's get down to business.
what, they're
Enough
going to bang?
feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, none of this mushy shit. Take your bra off.
Time for sex and violence.
The factory had been locked up for the night, ready to do business tomorrow morning. There was no security card, which suggested that the factory was doing well. Does it?
Is that sarcasm?
I don't think so. I
Cool.
think that's just stupid. MC prized open the front doors with a crowbar, and he and Tifa slipped in.
This is it.
Tifa said,
This is where it happened. I was over there, and I watched Hirato kill Roy Man here.
MC looked at his surroundings.
Well, there's no chalk markings, bloodstains, or police tape. In fact, it looks like someone swept up here.
Literally a cover-up
Yes.
with a broom.
Yep.
Yep.
That's where the origin of the phrase came from, when somebody killed someone else and they put a broom on top so nobody could see the body. They were like, I'm sure I heard a struggle and a gunshot here. And they went in, there's like, no, there's just a very lumpy looking broom with a blood stain under it.
Tifa pulled out her mobile phone and dialed a number.
Who are you phoning?
MC asked,
I've just had an idea about someone who could help us. And it just so happens this person owes me a favour.
Ooh, who's that going to be?
And MC's like, is it a man?
The mortuary was dark, so it was handy that MC had his torch with him.
So what did your friend the mortician say again?
He asked his girlfriend, cluing the audience in on a bit of exposition there. Hey, how's your dad, the train driver, doing?
After the horrible illness he had last month.
He said Chief Inspector Hirato brought the body in himself and asked him not to say anything to anyone about the body as the deceased was a Japanese dignitary.
I guess that's a fairly valid excuse.
Sure, why not?
Yeah. MC laughed.
I can't wait to see Hirato's face when you show up with a warrant for his arrest.
This is the one.
Tifa said as she entered a room. Inside was just as dark. One swing of the torch revealed two large silver tables in the middle of the room, a wall on the far side with numerous closed trays where the bodies were kept, and two men, dressed all in black, trying to move one of the bodies.
Oh no, more necrophiliacs.
I think we know what body they're moving, MC. Don't know why I said it like that.
One they can have sex with. Should have known we wouldn't get out of this without a fight.
MC said as the two men moved forwards. One of them threw a punch at MC, who easily caught it. Then, with lightning-quick speed, the man spun around and caught MC with the other fist. The ginger ninja realised these men were not to be underestimated. Tifa tried her luck with the other, slightly shorter man, but for the second time that day was thrown across the room. She landed on one of the tables, hard.
Evil police ninjas.
Ooh, cool.
Evil necrophiliac police ninjas. I'm going to let that go.
ENPNs. Both men were on MC. He tried to parry both their kicks and punches, but was getting backed into a corner. The smaller man tried a leg sweep. MC leapt into the air, avoided the sweep, and simultaneously extended his leg, knocking the other man down. MC landed back on the floor and continued fighting the smaller man. The other man went back to the body and zipped up the body bag was in. Huh? The other man went back to the body and zipped up the body bag was in.
The other man went back to the body and zipped up the body bag the body was in, I think.
The body bag was in the body, which was in the body bag body.
It's like a turducken.
MC landed on the desk and tried to keep his balance. The smaller man lunged forward, but MC raised both his feet and kicked him away.
So it says the smaller man lunched forward. Tries to stab MC with a baguette.
MC saw the man carrying the body bag away. He picked up a scalpel from the tray next to him and threw it. He could just about see in the dark and saw the sharpened scalpel fly into the guy's leg, just above his kneecap. He dropped the body bag. The smaller man got back up and helped his friend up. They both scappered, leaving the body behind.
Assume it's meant to be scarpered, but
I
who
think
knows?
so. But they've lunched forwards and now they've scappered. MC found the light switch and flicked it on. Tifa was just pulling herself up. MC went over and helped. Wow.
Read the future.
Yeah.
Clearly my sense of humour hasn't changed in 10 years.
17 years.
Damn necrophiliacs.
He said.
Right, so we're looking for a man, are we?
I feel like MC should have cottoned on a bit more to what's happening here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's joking.
I think he's been around Tifa too long. He started checking the names on the trays. Tifa went over to the body bag the thieves had dropped and unzipped it.
I don't think they were necrophiliacs, MC.
No? Why's that?
Because this is Roy Mann.
Who could have seen that coming?
No. Louise felt like being sick. She had seen plenty of bodies over the past few years, but when one was laying on the table you usually had dinner on, it gave a new perspective. What is that new perspective?
I'm not going to eat here again.
Why have we got a table in the lobby?
Did you have any trouble acquiring the deceased?
Asked Shin-no-Khan. Kind of a creepy question, but okay.
There was someone already trying to take the body. Hirato's men, we assume? But they were well trained, and Shin-no-Khan, I mean well trained.
Shin-no-Khan nodded his head to indicate he understood. That's MC's way of saying, I lost the fight, but don't tell anyone.
So how did Hirato kill him again?
MC asked Tifa.
He snapped his neck.
MC dusted the fingerprint dust over the top and lower parts of the dead drug dealer's throat. Nothing. He tried again? I know forensics.
Okay.
He finally said.
This is really strange. What is it?
Shin-no-Khan asked.
There's no fingerprints on this body.
Ooh.
Do bodies get fingerprints on them?
Well, I mean, that's what the next question is.
If you have fingerprint dust, they do. Could he have wiped them off?
Jay offered.
It's possible, I guess. What do you think, Tifa? You're the expert when it comes to this.
Ha! Tifa, an expert. Tifa looked over at the body she'd been chasing just a few hours before.
He looks sort of smaller to me.
She said. We can't exactly do an autopsy on him, can we? Louise said, just thinking about, her dinner.
Steak and kidney pie, anyone? I don't know.
Jay replied.
Why don't you just talk to him for a few minutes? That should make him fess up.
Ooh. Okay. Things are getting a bit tense. Louise turned to Jay. Got something useful to say, Jay? Shame that couldn't be said about the research you've been doing tonight. Savage.
No, they're not getting on well. Anyway,
MC interrupted.
What did you guys find out about Hirato? Well, it's interesting.
Jay started.
Interesting in what way?
Well, we found a Chief Inspector Murashi Hirato. Louise answered.
Yeah, that's him.
And he was supposedly born in Japan in 1638 and appointed as Chief Inspector of a small Japanese town in 1679. Did they have Chief Inspectors in back then?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, what's the name of Hanzo? We'll watch Hanzo the Razor again and
God.
find out from that.
Oh, let's not tell people about Hanzo the Razor.
It's really not. If you thought this was bad.
He was later chased out of the village for murdering and raping the town's Sultan's virgin daughter.
Sultans?
Towns?
Japan?
Towns, sultans, virgin daughter.
All Japanese towns in 1679 had a town sultan.
Anyway, moving on. He was never seen again, and neither was his body,
It can't be him, can it?
Tifa said.
Clearly she hasn't been paying any attention to... Really good. We can't roll it out.
MC said.
There's been stranger things around this place. Besides, I think there's a way we could find out what happened to this guy. Tifa knows a mortician. I'm sure he would help.
Tifa wasn't so sure.
I don't really want to drag him into this. He might end up like our friend here.
Then what are we going to do? I can help.
Shin-no-Khan said.
I can possess this body and see what damage has been done to it.
Okay.
That's a new ability.
Yeah, breaking out new skills.
Ninja ghost possessed this body.
Oh, ninja autopsy.
Is that what you do with the samurai sword?
In the dark.
Okay then.
MC said, trying to reveal how sick his master had just made him feel. Shin-no-Khan lowered his body on the Roy's corpse. And then his form disappeared. A minute or so passed, and nothing. Then, suddenly, Shin-no-Khan came shooting out of the body. For the first time since MC had known him, Shin-no-Khan looked rattled.
What is it?
MC asked. Shin-no-Khan tried to calm himself and find the right words.
This man, every bone, ligament, organ, and cell has been eviscerated. Wow.
So there should just be like a puddle there, right? Instead of a body? If every single cell had been eviscerated.
Oh, wow.
There's no bones in his body.
I mean, there's over the top and then there's over the top. Jesus Christ. It's not like every bone in his body has been broken or... Wow.
Every bone, ligament, organ, and cell had been eviscerated. Wow, Chip. You certainly came up with something interesting there, didn't you?
Hey, what's up with you, big man? We've seen worse. Probably.
MC said jokingly.
Just like my father.
Shin-no-Khan added.
Oh my god, it's the police chief, maybe. Oh no, it's Mr. Johnson or... Oh.
Do you think one of them is the one that killed Shin-no-Khan's dad?
Yes.
Fuck. Whoa, this goes deeper than we ever thought it could. So Shin-no-Khan's father had also had every bone, ligament, cell eviscerated from his body.
How did Shin-no-Khan know that with like World War II level medical science?
Well, he wasn't... maybe he got a ghost back then to...
Yeah, used his ninja training.
Ninjas, exactly.
It was the ninja autopsy.
Just then, the phone rang. MC was going to let it ring in sight of Shin-no-Khan's bombshell, but it persisted. Just in case it was an emergency, MC finally decided to answer. The gang was silent, as was Shin-no-Khan. Tifa looked over at MC and noticed he was doing that thing with his forehead that he did when he was angry. What?
Frowning. Tifa, it's called frowning. Remember we talked about this? Like the thing with your lips, that's called smiling. You do that when you're happy. And the thing with your eyes, that's crying. You do that when you're sad.
What is it?
She asked. MC put the receiver of the phone down and pushed the speaker button.
Good evening,
the voice said. Who's that? Louise asked.
It's Chief Inspector Hirato.
Tifa replied through gritted teeth.
Indeed it is, Miss Lockhart. I'm glad you are still at the old mansion just outside the city.
Whoa.
It's nice when people are so predictable. Remember you had a watch squad on them.
Oh, yeah, it's the watch squad coming back into force. Tune in to Watch Squad episode 3 for that.
Anyway, I guess you are all wondering what is going on. To be honest, I cannot divulge that sort of information at this moment in time, but there is something I can tell you. Tifa, Jay, Louise, Shin-no-Khan, MC, and Chip, you all have something to worry about because the Tokyo police force are not quite what they seem. Good night.
What the fuck? What is happening?
I mean, we kind of guessed, at least part of it.
Whoa, I mean...
Maybe it's the whole thing. Was Tifa the only goddamn honest cop in the whole goddamn precinct?
Oh, yeah, why though? Like, why is she the only one? How did that work?
Because they kept trying to corrupt her, but she was too stupid. It's like, no, Tifa, sometimes we can take a little lecture just for us from the crime scene. No one will miss it.
And he's done the classic bad guy thing of, like, telling them the evil plan. Like, yeah. But he knows everything about them, apparently, as well. The phone clicked as Chief Inspector Hirato hung up. There was silence in the mansion for a few minutes. No one knew quite what to say and what to say it about. What? No one knew quite what to say and what to say it about. Uh-huh. Eventually, it was an unlikely source that broke the awkward silence. Chip walked down the stairs and said, "Looks like we've got a new enemy."
How long have you been there?
MC asked, not even bothering to look at Chip. "Long enough,"
Chip,
Shin-no-Khan said.
perhaps it would be best if you continue to rest. You are not yet strong enough to fight.
Well, he's changed his tune, hasn't he? Your
Yeah.
boy was like, "Oh, take Chip. Chip's got to go. Why don't you take Chip out to play?
Take your
Chip
little
wants to
brother,
play."
yeah.
I know. But seeing as there's been a few revelations tonight, I think it's time for my own. Ooh. Also, he said the title of the episode. Chip had everyone's attention now. He stopped as he reached the second from bottom step. So he was still a little taller than everyone.
It's like a petty power move, isn't it?
Oh god, I think we're about to get Chip's explanation.
Oh, okay.
Oh, here we go, people. Buckle yourselves in. Could be a bumpy ride. I'm guessing that you all think I owe you an apology and an explanation for what I did. The truth is, I am sorry. But there doesn't seem to be much point saying it until you can all accept it. As for the explanation, that's a little more complicated. I've heard you say that the Chip who... He paused for a moment and looked down at his feet. Did all those things. Wasn't the person standing here now. The truth is, it was me. I knew what I was doing and I acted without remorse. I can't put into words what I was feeling, as I'm still not sure myself. I was lost, alone, Anyway, I didn't raise the wand to destroy the world. I brought it here because I wanted it to kill all of you, because I couldn't. To be truly evil, it all needs to be clear inside, and I wasn't. I thought if I could get rid of my only link to humanity, then everything would be clear.
Top tier job, Chip. Healing the rift.
Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't trying to kill all people, just you guys.
Well, what he's saying is he was
I know.
trying to purge himself of all feelings because he felt so bad, so he thought if he
Yeah.
severed his link to his connection to people he actually cared about, yeah. And that's why he heroically sacrificed himself.
So what the hell were you going to do once it had killed us then? Buy it a fruit basket and send it on a Wonderland cruise for its troubles?
It's a weird thing to go with MC, but
Wonderland
okay.
cruise.
Yeah.
Dissed ya, bro. Fruit basket. Oosh.
MC said. Tifa grabbed his arm.
No, not the Wonderland cruise. That's too far.
No, Chip replied, looking back up. I was going to get rid of it by sacrificing the razor, like I did anyway. See?
Oh, well, it's fine then.
I know if I want to get your friendship back, then I need to earn your trust. And in order to earn your trust, I'll need your forgiveness. Pushing it, buddy, pushing it.
Come on, guys. It's been like 2 weeks. Jesus.
Chip turned away and went back upstairs. He was still weak, and even a short trip up and down a flight of stairs was exhausting for him. Chip staggered back into his room and fell onto his bed. For the first time since he'd been back, Chip had addressed the group about what happened. He felt emotionally drained as he lay down on his bed. Even an eternity in hell hadn't been that hard.
It was a lifetime. Stop exaggerating.
The group had quickly disbanded downstairs. Shin-no-Khan had returned to his parts unknown.
With the Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, that's a spin-off I want now. Shin-no-Khan and the Ultimate Warrior just going around and, I don't know, bashing gay people like the Ultimate Warrior did.
Oh, no, really? I shouldn't be surprised.
Louise went to bed, although she didn't sleep that night. She wondered if she should feel guilty about what she said to Chip earlier that morning, but she was glad that he had finally confessed something. Louise thought about what Chip had said about friendship, trust, and forgiveness. She wasn't sure how many of those could stretch to Chip. Jay sat in the living room. He didn't fancy sleep tonight, which would just lead to another day in the morning. Fuck, that's upsetting.
Wow.
He made sure the television was down low, but loud enough so he could hear it, even though he wasn't really watching it. Jay picked up a pad of paper that he'd been writing on earlier. He tore out the pages and scrawled them all up, one by one.
Oh, no. The toasters.
The toasters, no! He's just said goodbye to a fucking fortune there. MC was driving Tifa back to her apartment to get some things. He didn't like the fact of her being by herself, seeing as Hirato knew where she lived. I mean, he also knows where you live, buddy, so...
I guess he's there and the rest of
Yeah,
the gang are there. Safety in numbers.
That's true. At least, even though he knew about the mansion, he could protect her there. Oh, okay, sorry, my bad.
What do you think about what Chip said?
She asked. MC didn't answer straight away, as if he was trying to find the right words.
I'm not sure. He could be telling the truth, but then if he is, his suicide seems less noble if he was going to do it anyway.
Tifa had never heard MC describe Chip's death as noble before.
It's always
About
been heroic
time.
sacrifice. Besides, there are more important things to think about at the moment.
Like what Hirato might try next?
Tifa offered.
I was thinking more about what Shin-no-Khan said. The body we took from the morgue had been killed exactly like his father was.
And with what Louise and Jay pulled up about Hirato,
All signs point to the land of not good.
I say bring it on.
Tifa said.
Really?
MC replied, a little confused.
Why's that?
Because running away never achieved nothing. I think Chip's case proved that point. We're going to have to approach this head on, whatever it may be.
Wherever it may be.
MC thought to himself as he drove through the crisp, dark night.
Whatever it may be.
And that's the end of Revelations, Part 2. Whatever it may be, MC.
That sounds like Que Sera. Yeah. I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be an evil ninja? Here's what she said to me.
Chip nobly sacrificed himself. Well, there we go. There was a lot of revelations in that.
It was indeed.
So many.
Multiple.
I mean, we had the whole thing about Chief Inspector Hirato.
Yeah.
We knew he was going to be bad, but now we know he's
Yeah.
bad. Also that he may have killed Shin-no-Khan's father.
And also he's Chief Inspector from 16, whatever.
Like 300 years old.
Yeah.
We had the whole thing about Chip. He had a massive revelation.
He did indeed.
He finally opened up to the gang about
Yeah.
why he murdered everyone.
Yeah.
It was an appropriate title for the episode.
It really was.
Yes. So do we think Chief Inspector Hirato, sorry, sir, is going to be the big bad of this season? Or
No,
is he
I
going
think
to
it's
be...
got to be Mr. Johnson, surely.
Yeah.
Unless there's some sort of thing with like Mr. Johnson thinks he's in charge, but is actually Hirato has been playing him or something.
Or maybe it'll do that annoying thing where Hirato is the main bad, but then at the
Oh,
end of
yeah.
the season it's like, oh no, it was Mr. Johnson all along.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, should we see what the next episode is called,
Yes,
MC?
indeed.
The next episode is called Haunting Stuff.
It's not a very good title.
No, it's not, is it? What the fuck does that mean?
Speaking of haunting stuff, you can haunt us.
At facebook.com/HowIRippedOffPodcast.
And we are also, like all the other youths and cool people, on Twitter at How I Ripped Off.
And you can find our entire back catalogue on SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio and iTunes.
And leave us a rating.
You mean you've really
I
struggled the
cannot
last 10
speak
minutes.
today. Please leave us a rating. I clearly, there's something not right with me.
It's only good ratings and reviews that help MC to speak
That's
properly.
true, that's
so
true.
we are appealing to you, the listeners of the How I Ripped Off Buffy the Vampire Slayer
Just
podcast.
one rating a day. You too can help MC not speak like a fucking idiot.
Are we sure it wasn't you that called the next episode Haunting Stuff? But yes, we will see you next week for some more ninja action.